webbed feet, a tail, and 2 prosthetic legs. These celebrities have features that just might be more famous than their names. Ruggedly handsome Joaquin Phoenix can often be seen sporting a full beard and mustache, but the facial hair above Phoenix's upper lip often appears in photos to be interrupted by a slight vertical hair-free gap to the immediate left of his philtrum. This vertical gap of skin where hair does not appear to grow bears a strong resemblance to the scarring associated with the repair of a congenital cleft lip, palate, or both. Cleft lip or palate, which is believed to be an anomaly that develops during the first 3 months of gestation, is one of the most common birth defects according to Mayo Clinic. Many people have assumed that the space above Phoenix's upper lip is evidence that Phoenix underwent surgical repair of a congenital cleft lip or palate as a child. Phoenix has never stated that this is a case, nor has he ever said that he was born with a cleft lip or palate. Whatever this unusual physical trait of Phoenix's might actually be, all that can be said for certain is that it has appeared in countless photos of the actor for as long as he's been in the public eye. Since at least as far back as the Italian Renaissance, it has been hypothesized and demonstrated time and again that facial symmetry is a subconscious signifier of attractiveness. And while we can't argue with science, we nevertheless suspect that this does not tell the whole story. How else to explain that there are so many celebrities whose eyes are noticeably different colors, a condition known as heterochromia? Kate Bosworth is an example of someone with partial heterochromia. Both of her eyes are blue, but her right eye appears to have a splotch of amber or brown in its lower half. In contrast, Mila Kunis, who has complete heterochromia with 1 green eye and 1 brown eye, is believed to have acquired the condition in the course of dealing with a number of other eye problems. Born in 1984, Karolina Kurkova became a model at age 15 after a friend sent her photo to a modeling agency.
And when I was 14, a friend of mine wanted to be a photographer, so she asked if she could take a few pictures of me.
Between 2000 and 2010, Kurkova appeared in 9 Victoria's Secret fashion shows, has been a cover model many times over, and has appeared in a variety of movies and television shows. Yet it wasn't until 2008 that anyone seemed to notice that Kurkova does not have a typical belly button. It was during a November 2008 fashion show in Miami, Florida that Kurkova's almost invisible belly button was noticed. There was an indentation where her belly button should have been. According to Kurkova's rep, the model had an operation when she was an infant that gave her belly button this appearance. As plastic surgeon Dr. Matthew Schulman told the New York Daily News, it appears that the operation may have been to correct an umbilical hernia, a common condition in infants in which an opening in the abdominal muscles near the navel permit a section of the intestines to bulge through. It's easily correctable, and while it's not clear whether Kurkova's surgery was a success, it does appear that this unusual physical trait may have helped cement her celebrity status. Canadian-born supermodel Winnie Harlow has a unique look that owes to the fact that Harlow has been dealing with the rare skin condition vitiligo since she was 4 years old. Vitiligo is a condition that causes the skin to lose pigment in patches. Harlow's career as a model began when she was featured on America's Next Top Model. Although vitiligo has been a challenge that Harlow has had to live with, it has also helped raise her profile, contributing to her celebrity, though celebrity brings its own challenges. As Harlow told Fashion Week Daily, "I happen to have vitiligo and I'm proud of it, but I'm also not a spokesperson for it just because you want me to be or just because I have a skin condition. That's not how life works. That makes it difficult. It's not about me being private about my skin condition. I love talking about it, but it's not the only thing about me."
Everyone is different, which is what makes us all the same.
We know from scads of scientific evidence that facial symmetry is correlated with human attractiveness, but one notable exception to the symmetry and attractiveness hypothesis is the actor Shannen Doherty. Doherty, who began her career as a child and rose to mega fame playing Brenda on Beverly Hills 90210, possesses noticeably asymmetrical features, including that her left eye appears larger than her right, and that the left eye seems to be set significantly higher on her face than the right. These are traits that can be seen in virtually any photo of Doherty which you might see. In addition, the angles of Doherty's jawbone are different on one side. Although in photos, Doherty's jaw structure may be less overtly noticeable than the size and placement of her eyes, Doherty's overall look reads as asymmetrical, but gorgeous. Born Seal Samuel in 1963, the composer, singer, and actor who goes by the name Seal has visible scarring on his cheeks, the results of a rare form of the autoimmune condition lupus. These scars have been there since he was just 23 years old, and that was before he even made his first album, his eponymous 1991 award winner that featured the songs Crazy, Killer, and Future Love Paradise, and which rocketed Seal to fame as it rode to the top of the charts, including the Billboard Top 10. According to Find a Top Doc, this particular type of lupus is known for affecting the skin and resulting in a distinct butterfly-shaped rash across the cheeks and nose, which can eventually lead to scarring and hair loss. For anyone who worries that a scar, even a prominent one, might hold them back from achieving their dreams, Seal's success and fame is evidence to the contrary. Fans of television's iconic series Friends may remember that the character Chandler Bing was rejected by a woman after she discovered that he was in possession of a third nipple. The upshot was that the character subsequently had the extraneous nipple medically removed. It's not clear what inspired that story, but the fact is that, as unusual as it is to have been born with more than 2 nipples, more than a few celebrities have that very thing in common, according to Allure. Musician and actor Harry Styles is one of them. Styles has been rumored to possess not 2, not 3, but 4 nipples altogether, and in 2017 he confirmed the same in an interview with Chelsea Handler.
I hooked up with a guy who had that once. I didn't realize that was a thing.
In fact, although it's certainly unusual to have more than 2 nipples, the condition is believed to occur in 1 in 500 births, or approximately 0.2% of the time, according to BBC Future. Megan Fox may be best known for her role in the Transformers film franchise, but as it turns out, the actor has been living all her life with what some might consider a physical deformity, which is that her thumbs are markedly short and wide and are capped off with unusually stubby fingernails that point upward. In 2012, while a guest of Jay Leno on The Tonight Show, Fox addressed the unusual appearance of her thumbs, suggesting that she has wondered at times whether her thumbs developed as such because her mother had a habit of eating tuna during her pregnancy with Fox, and tuna is known to contain the heavy metal toxin mercury. She said on the show, "What is weird to me is, I was talking to my mom and she was like, 'Oh, I ate tuna every day when I was pregnant with you.' I was wondering if that was what happened to my thumbs. They're weird and they're really fat and there's like a weird knuckle." According to orthopedic surgeon Alejandro Badilla, Fox's shortened thumb has a clinical name, brachydactyly. Being well over 6 feet tall, Ashton Kutcher is above average height. Kutcher possesses another interesting physical trait, however, one that's far more unusual than simply being tall. Kutcher has shared at various times over the years that he was born with tissue connecting 2 of his toes. Syndactyly, which is the clinical name for webbed digits, occurs in approximately 1 in every 2 to 3,000 births, according to Healthline. It is much more common in men than women, and in men it is more commonly found on the hands rather than the feet. In other words, Kutcher's condition is not just rare in and of itself, but is also rare in the context of all syndactyly. In even rarer cases, the webbing is not soft tissue but bone. Surgery is an option for those born with webbed fingers and toes. However, it appears that Kutcher has never felt the need to have his webbed toes repaired.
It's these two.
Marty Feldman was an award-winning comic, actor, and writer who died unexpectedly of a heart attack in 1982 at age 48. Although Feldman has been gone for over 40 years now, he's still remembered by many for his iconic and hilarious portrayal of the hunchbacked assistant to Dr. Frankenstein in 1974's comedic masterpiece Young Frankenstein. That role was just one of many to which Feldman lent his unique brand of comic genius, but perhaps more than any other, it stands as empirical evidence that sometimes an unusual physical trait can be a gift, particularly when one is or wishes to become a celebrity. Feldman's unusual physical trait was his eyes, which bulged prominently from his eye sockets. Feldman's unusual look was a result of a condition known as Graves' eye disease, which can develop as a side effect of the thyroid disorder known as Graves' disease, according to the American Thyroid Association. Graves' disease is an autoimmune disease that causes the body to attack cells of the thyroid as if they were a dangerous foreign body, with the result usually being an overactive thyroid. In up to around half of Graves' disease patients, the eyes are affected as well, with apparent bulging like Feldman's, albeit typically in a less pronounced way. Amy Purdy was an aspiring actor with a fallback career as a massage therapist all mapped out when at age 19 she contracted meningococcal meningitis, a bacterial infection of the brain. As a result of the infection and various complications, both of Purdy's legs were amputated below the knee, and she lost her spleen and both of her kidneys. It was only after going through this life-altering experience that Purdy rose to fame, and not just because people were touched by her story. Rather, Purdy became a celebrity in spite of her having become a double amputee. Purdy, who had a love for snowboarding before her double amputation, trained hard to become a Paralympic-level competitive adaptive snowboarder, winning a bronze medal in the 2014 Sochi Paralympics in the process. Purdy has attracted lots of positive attention, leading to many opportunities. Among other things, she has become a busy model and actor. In 2020, Purdy was a contestant on Dancing with the Stars, ultimately coming in second place with her dance partner Derek Hough.
I don't want to see myself as this sad, disabled girl.
According to pop star Kesha, she had an unusual trait when she was born, a tail. She told Heat magazine in 2013, "I had a tail when I was born. It was a tiny tail, about 1/4 of an inch. Then they chopped it off and stole my tail. That was when I was little. I'm really sad about that story." Though it might seem surprising, the fact that Kesha was at one time in possession of an actual tail isn't really all that remarkable. In fact, all human embryos are equipped with a tail just like all mammals, not to mention all reptiles and birds, according to a 2018 study published in the Journal of Anatomy. In fact, the study notes that despite the human tail being completely absent at birth in most cases, the embryonic tail forms in the same way as it does on other mammals. What differentiates humans is that a tail reduction process should be completed before the end of the first trimester.